just to pick out, I'm not going to try and do a summary of all that has been said, but just to pick out 3 or 4 main points. The first is that we heard again and again the need for communication, and we have a number of worlds that sit beside each other. And if you step back a bit to it, let's say a functional region area, they're in the same zone. But we have the urban and the rural, and we have, let us say, the mobility oriented and the tourism oriented. And this came across a number of times that at the very minimum, even if they don't work as one, there needs to be good communication, need to understand each other, see what kind of collaboration can be done, because they are, after all, quite often at least working in the same zone and quite often with the same people and with the same interests. A second point then that comes across is the need to influence. And this came across very much in our workshop and also in others as well, is that a lot of persuasion is needed, but it needs to be focused and targeted. Who exactly is the point of the target point for influencing? Is it at the political layer? Is it at the functional layer, the administration layer, and whatever? So there was a lot of good suggestions on that I think we'll follow up on and pay more attention to in our future discussions of how exactly you try and bring influence to bear in a positive way to those who can actually make a difference on the policy, on the programs, and in the sentiment among the decision takers. And that led on to a very good suggestion from Pedro, I think it was, about the fostering of change. And he identified 3 particular points, and it was again, I think, picked up in Elena's summing up from the workshop. The 3 points was about the fostering of change. I hope you can hear me better now?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Was, first of all, is to get a common acknowledgement of the problem among stakeholders. The second then is to be able to move on and bring in an awareness and a knowledge of potential solutions to the problem. And the third is to establish an agenda and maybe a discussion around the agenda that would trigger political decisions that would enable the problem to be solved. But underpinning all of these things came across again and again, all 4 workshops and many of the discussions in the roundtable, the need for data, and data in all its forms. And they can be numbers and metrics, or they can be narrative and sentiment and opinions and thoughts. But this is an issue that is coming across, this lack of data or hard evidence within the rural areas that maybe is commonly available in urban areas. And this was so timely because what I was going to announce at the end of this anyway is the next workshop on the 13th of March, the next seminar, is going to deal with data. And I say data in all its forms. And our colleagues in Pantea will lead this workshop. And we have identified really, what is the role of data in shaping rural mobility and tourism policies? And again, to explore very much what kind of data we need and how it might be used and acquired and fit for purpose and so forth. And we've got 4 ideas or strands that we're working on, but we'd like your feedback on it. And we'll send you a first draft of the agenda that we're thinking of. But one is to look at assessing the accessibility and inclusivity issues. Another is looking at community engagement and feedback. A third is on measuring sustainability and impacts. And the fourth is on performance of DRT, and maybe we could extend to other forms of transport. So what we'll do is that following this, we will send out the information, save the date, you know already, if you're here the 13th of March, and the provisional registration link, and an initial agenda. And it'd be very good to get your feedback on it, because that can help to shape then when we get into the details of, say, the parallel sessions and some of the speakers we'll invite and what we'll ask them to talk about. So just to close, I want to first of all thank the TISH team, and I'm not sure if it's come across clearly before. Each of our webinars and conferences, there's one of our partners takes the lead in shaping the agenda and in doing a lot of the background work, organizing the speakers. So particularly to Andre, but also all his colleagues at TISH, thank you very much for making a really, really good webinar that we've had today. I want to thank all of our speakers, of course, and the contributors, our panelists. Big thanks to Andrea and to Adina, who very kindly moderated the various sessions, but especially to all of the participants. I'm just looking live, we still have 73 participants out of a little bit more than 80 that was with us. So that's almost everybody has stayed with us. And this gives us great encouragement, because if you'll stay with us for the full 3 hours, we feel that we are being relevant to you and that we're fairly much on topic to things that are of interest to you. So that gives us great encouragement. So with that, I'll close. And until the 13th of March, and of course, some of us will see some of you in the training sessions earlier than that. So goodbye and thank you very much to all of the participants and the organizers.